The Netflix of consciousness. How understanding evolution and neuroscience can deepen meditation. The wayward mind isn't a problem in meditation, it's the key if properly understood. For too long, yoga and meditation have been shrouded in mysticism, burdened by narratives that obscure a clearer understanding of how the mind actually operates. This mythological framing has led to unnecessary struggles, as seekers attempt to tame a mind that is simply doing what it evolved to do. Indian gurus have often described meditation as a battle against the mind's capricious wanderings, a war to be won through sheer discipline. This makes sense. After all, the mind is restless, and it's challenging to quiet its incessant stream of thoughts. But this perspective sidesteps a fundamental question. Why does the mind generate such an endless parade of thoughts, ideas, and projections? What evolutionary function does this so-called monkey mind actually serve? The answer lies in evolution and neuroscience. Our brains have developed into hyper-complex simulators, constantly generating models of reality to help us navigate an unpredictable world. Consciousness, whether we realize it or not, evolved to ensure survival in an environment of ever-present threats and opportunities. It functions as a feedback system, continuously assessing danger, attraction, hunger, social dynamics, and shelter. This isn't just a philosophical observation, it's a neurological fact. Our minds are constructed to process data from the external world, predict outcomes, and refine responses in real time. The very tendency we struggle against in meditation, the mind's relentless movement, is actually a survival mechanism honed over millions of years. The brain's restless evolution. A crucial realization is that the brain never truly rests. Even in sleep, it fabricates intricate narratives, reinforcing the idea that its primary role is to construct scenarios for potential future action. This capacity to explore multiple possibilities has given humans a distinct evolutionary advantage. A species whose members can imagine threats before they happen, strategize long-term goals, and analyze past failures has a clear survival edge. So how does this relate to meditation? Anyone who has tried to still the mind quickly encounters what seems like an insurmountable paradox. The more we try to control our thoughts, the more they resist. Instead of leading us into peace and clarity, the effort itself generates further mental chaos. This is reminiscent of an Indian master's saying, "Putting a saddle on a wild horse for the first time only makes it buck harder." Understanding why thoughts arise. The key insight is this: the mind is supposed to generate a torrent of ideas. Suppressing them is not just difficult, it's counterproductive. Meditation isn't about forcefully silencing thoughts, it's about understanding their nature. When we fight them, we engage in a futile battle that only amplifies their presence. Instead, many meditative traditions have sought a hack, a way to coexist with thoughts without being dominated by them. One such method is mindfulness, becoming an observer rather than a participant in the mind's theatrics. It's like opening Netflix and scrolling through an endless stream of options, so many choices, so many narratives. But what happens if we simply stay on the home screen? If we don't select a show, we remain at rest, unpulled by the drama of the moment. Can we do the same with our thoughts, watch them arise and dissipate without getting lost in their stories? Other traditions offer an alternative: mantra meditation. A mantra acts as an anchor, keeping the mind tethered to a single focal point. This approach is evident in practices like the Jesus Prayer, famously described in The Way of a Pilgrim, and later introduced to Western audiences through J.D. Salinger's Franny and Zooey. In this tradition, the aspirant repeats, "Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner," until it becomes an unbroken current in their consciousness. Over time, the prayer ceases to be mere words and instead becomes a vehicle for deep stillness, much like the use of mantras in Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, and Sikh traditions. The mind as Grand Central Terminal. A helpful metaphor. Imagine standing in the middle of Grand Central Terminal. Trains arrive and depart, each heading toward a different destination. Some take you to past regrets, others to future anxieties. Every thought invites you aboard. Most people spend their lives hopping from train to train, never pausing to realize they don't have to ride every one. Meditation offers an alternative. Remain on the platform, Let the trains come and go, but stay rooted where you are. The irony is that true peace is not in eradicating thoughts, but in learning to let them pass. The most profound moments in life happen not when we are lost in thought, but when we are fully present. It's not the external experience that brings fulfillment. It's our attention to it. A lifetime of meditation. After nearly 50 years of meditation, I found that the most powerful approach is also the simplest, inquiring into the source of consciousness itself. This isn't about chasing enlightenment, reaching an astral plane, or achieving nirvana. It's about sitting, without expectation, and allowing awareness to rest in itself. The moment we stop seeking a goal, meditation ceases to be a struggle and becomes a refuge. The greatest obstacle to meditation is our belief that our thoughts are problems to be solved, rather than phenomena to be observed. Neuroscientist Sam Harris puts it succinctly. The illusion we must dismantle is the idea that we have a fixed, unchanging self. This sense of a central I is merely an evolutionary artifact, a cognitive mirage. When examined closely, it dissolves, much like a desert mirage vanishing upon approach. This echoes the Buddhist concept of sunyata, emptiness. Things appear real and meaningful only because we attach significance to them. When we look directly at them, their solidity evaporates. This is the essence of the Buddha's first and second noble truths. Suffering exists, but it is attachment that sustains it. Ramana Maharshi likened this to watching a movie. The screen is blank, yet it holds an infinite number of images. The more we lose ourselves in the film, the more we suffer its highs and lows. But if we step back and see the screen itself, we remain undisturbed. Similarly, when we become aware of awareness itself rather than its contents, we find a profound and abiding stillness. Finding the home button. When I meditate each morning and evening, I sit in a space designed for contemplation, filled with mythic imagery from across cultures. I close my eyes, center my awareness, and repeat my mantra. Thoughts arise, memories, plans, distractions, but they're like clouds passing across the sky, ephemeral and insubstantial. The body settles into a blissful stillness as energy consolidates inward. I could describe the experience further, but it would be pointless. Meditation isn't something to be understood secondhand, it must be lived. As my brother Joseph once said about surf movies, why watch when you could be riding the waves yourself? Or as Sam Harris wisely notes, when we set enlightenment as a goal, we remain trapped in the very dissatisfaction we seek to escape. So perhaps the most profound realization is also the simplest. Just sit. Let consciousness observe itself. No agenda, no expectations. The peace we seek is already here, waiting for us to notice it.